Good morning, dear children. We all love to read and hear fairy tales as they all are full of magical tricks. So today we are going to read one such fairy tale, Jack and the Beanstalk. So students, in this story, the Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack was a small child like you all, took a huge risk. Now what was that risk? Let's find out in the story. Jack is the name of the boy in the story and Beanstalk is the stem of bean plant which grows very fast and very tall. So let's start reading the story. Once upon a time there lived a poor woman who had a son named Jack. She was ill and Jack was too young to work. Almost all their belongings had been sold to buy food. There was nothing left worth selling. They had an old cow named Daisy, whom they were very fond of. One day, Jack's mother said, "Jack, go to the market and sell our cow, or we shall have nothing to eat." Thus, the next day, with a heavy heart, Jack left for the market to sell their beloved Daisy. For some time he went along very sadly, but on seeing the hustle-bustle at the market, he soon recovered his spirits. He stood in a corner and started calling out, "Who will buy my cow?" A few farmers looked at Daisy and said, "Oh, the cow is too thin and old." Jack was disappointed as no one came forward to buy his cow. However, he met a farmer at last who looked over the cow and was eager to buy it. Jack asked him, "How much will you buy it for?" The farmer said, "I do not have any money, but I have a handful of magic beans. Would you like to exchange your cow for them?" At first, Jack thought that the farmer was joking, but the farmer had a kind expression on his face. He said, "These are not ordinary beans. They are the most wonderful beans that were ever known. If you plant them tonight, they all grow up by tomorrow morning and reach the sky." For some reasons, Jack could not refuse the farmer, and thus he sold the cow for a handful of beans. Alas, when he got home, his mother was furious and she screamed, "You silly boy, what shall we eat tonight?" Angrily, she threw the beans out of the house since there was no food to eat that night. Both the mother and son slept hungry. Jack woke up the next morning to find his room dark. He jumped out of bed and ran to the window to see what the matter was. He observed that although the sun was shining brightly outside, but beside his bedroom window there was a giant beanstalk which seems to reach the sky. He called out, "Mother, look at this giant beanstalk." His mother came to the window and said, "Of what use will this be to us? Chop it off. We can use it as firewood." But Jack did not listen to his mother's word and thought, "I'll just see where it leads to." With that thought, he stepped out of the window and onto the beanstalk and began to climb upwards. He climbed higher and higher till their cottage looked a mere speck below. Now, children, this is the only half of story. Rest of the story you will find out in lesson 6. So, thank you.